Is expected to give its ruling today on the Kpandi parliamentary election dispute in the northern region. It follows the annulment of the 2024 parliamentary results by the Tamale High Court, which upheld a petition by NDC candidate Daniel Insala Wakbal, citing irregularities in the conduct of the polls. My colleague Kwasante is joining us live from the courts. Just before we go there, let's get to the northern region, speak to Martina Bugri, and she joins me on phone. Martina, how will you describe the mood in the constituency today?
Tension and a bit of uneasiness because they do not know what is coming next. But all the people are saying is they want peace. No matter what happens today, they should be united as a people, either to go for a rerun or to keep the MP who was in Parliament. And so whatever happens today, what should be important is the peace of the area, which would transform into development. And so that's all they are asking for from Kpandi. They want peace.
Martina, you've also been interacting with some of the residents there. Exactly what did they tell you?
Some are calling for the rerun. They are hoping that there will be a rerun. Some are also saying that they would prefer the one who is there because he's working. But some are also just neutral, and they think that whoever emerges, whatever comes, they are ready for it.
We can listen to some of them.
Well, my expectation is that the Supreme Court should what? We need a rerun so that we can justify what? The free and fair, transparent what? Election in our constituency. It means the what? The previous election that happened, 2024, wasn't genuinely. It wasn't transparent. So we need a rerun to get everything very transparent. Oh well, I'm great. I'm feeling great, and I know very soon the rerun will be verdict. No, the election wasn't credible, please. It wasn't credible. So we need it so that the rerun to happen, and then we'll get a very transparent election, and then we will now choose our member of parliament genuinely.
We are praying. We are praying that the judgment, they should judge the case that today we are voting, like we should vote. We want vote. We want peace. Without voting, no peace. And with the voting, there will be peace. So we want peace in Kpandi and development. No. We want that the judgment, they should say we should vote. We want re-election again in Kpandi. That's the only thing we can do so that we can have peace in Kpandi here. The people of Kpandi, they need re-run election. Thank you. Right now, I'm not in any particular party. I don't belong to any party. I'm a neutral. So I want development for the people. So the Kpandi people are lack of a lot. They are lack of a lot in terms of road, water, schools, proper roads. We don't have anything. So when we have NDC as a parliamentary candidate, then we have the president as NDC. So they can do a lot in Kpandi here. So when you have MPP as a parliamentary candidate, there will not be more attention on him. So there will be lack of development. Thank you.
What I'm expecting is, though it has come, they've been through courts and other things, by what I'm seeing is there will not be any rerun. The court will get in favor of Honorable Martin. I just feel like he won genuinely, not in any other thing. So there will not be rerun. That's what I know. That is the court. They have their evidences and they are showing it there. So whatever the court will see and give a verdict, I have nothing to do about it. But my thinking is there will not be rerun.
And still on the Kpandi case, we understand the Supreme Court has instituted a 5-member panel, and they are Justice Puaman, Justice Tanko, Justice Kulendi, Justice Esiedu, and Justice Kofi. And also in the court this morning, a decision has been taken by the Supreme Court by a 6-1 majority, dismissing an application by the Attorney General seeking a review of its earlier ruling on criminal disclosures in the case involving former National Signals Bureau Director General Kpandi Rerun and his wife. Justice Yoni Kulendi delivered that lone dissenting opinion. Now, the couple is currently standing trial on charges of stealing, money laundering, and using public office for private gain. They had earlier applied to the Supreme Court to restrain the High Court judge handling the matter, but that application was dismissed. In the same decision, the Supreme Court also revised the practice direction on further disclosures, holding that prosecutors are only required to disclose materials in their possession that are connected to the case rather than all materials described as, quote, relevant. It was this aspect of the ruling that prompted the Attorney General to invoke the court's review jurisdiction. And the Attorney General argued that by effectively removing the word, quote, relevance from the disclosure framework without substituting it with an equivalent standard, the Supreme Court had, in practical terms, rewritten the law on criminal disclosure. He contended that the decision risks narrowing disclosure obligations to mere possession of documents without sufficient regard to whether the material sought had a meaningful bearing on the issues before the court. And represented by the Attorney General, Dr. Justice Shrem Sai, the Attorney General urged the court to either restore the word relevance in its ordinary sense or replace it with language such as, quote, connected with the matter before the court, end quote, in order to preserve a clear nexus between requested materials and the subject of the trial. He maintained that without such clarification, the disclosure regime could be applied too restrictively to the detriment of fair trial standards. But however, the Supreme Court, by a 6-1 majority, rejected the application and declined to review its earlier decision. The court had indicated that its full reasoned judgment will be delivered on 4th February. Now, the panel that determined the matter was composed of Justice Lovelace Johnson, who presided, Justice Amadou Tanko, Justice Yoni Kulendi, Justice Senyor Damefe, Justice Richard J. Frimpong, Justice Sir Dennis J. and Justice Kwekuteria Aka Boafo. And that's the latest coming from the Supreme Court. Well, we'll still keep an eye on the Kpandi case as and when it unfolds. Now,